Absolutely. So I'm going to go over here. I got to go to Instagram, and I'm going to bring us over onto live over here. Go live, hit go live. Come on, go live. Go
And I
live,
look like
go live.
you should have forewarned me, George. I look like ass.
I gave you all the warning you needed, girlfriend. You got
I'm
all
thinking
the
about getting
warning
a hat
you
on.
All right.
I need a hat.
All right. So we are live, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. And welcome to our live. I'm your host today, kind of, sort of. And we're going to talk a lot about some metabolic health, some quick stories. We're going to be here. We're looking to be here every night at 9. So just feel free to share this link and let people know that every night they're going to be able to meet with Kurt and Kelly. And we'll have other friends coming on board with us as well. So excited to have everybody here. This is our inaugural voyage, as it were. You both look awesome. You look different. You look different already from when you were when we first started talking about this. And so we're going to talk about that. But one of the things we want to look at is this. What are we talking about, guys, is this. Is there a need for metabolic changes? Is there a need? And is the need increasing? And is there a solution? And is there a natural solution? So let me tell you what we're talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, 93% of Americans are metabolically unhealthy. I'm asking for a friend. Do you know anybody that's got belly fat, high blood pressure, all metabolic diseases, right? I mean, just think about it. Even skin tags, a narcolepsia where they have darkening of the skin, brain fog, right? All fatigue, cravings for sugar, cravings for sweets, peeing all the time. I mean, there's a gillion different things, guys. And or maybe you know people that are taking those shots. We'll talk about that too, because the leading cause of death now are metabolically related. Think about this. I'm 73. You guys are what, 32, whatever. Anyway, I've been around long enough.
I wish.
I've been around long enough to see the change in our food. When I was a kid, we didn't have grass-fed beef. We had what? Beef. We didn't have eggs that were pasture-raised, or I don't know what the heck you all buy them. They were eggs. You knew they were eggs because you had scratches on your hands because you went and got them. Okay, the food has changed. In 1972 and 73 is when high fructose corn syrup came out. That's when it came out. So you guys have never known it not to be here.
Mm-mm.
And with the onset of just that, guess what? Our food totally became not what it's been. Our food isn't our food anymore. It's not. It's been re-engineered. Did you know that cattle in the feedlot get more fiber than you do? Because it's important. They took the fiber out. Mm-hmm. They took the fiber out of your food and replaced it with what? Powder, with synthetics, with oils to make it highly addictive. Why? Because of profit. For profit. These guys. I mean, what is the most important meal of the day? Well, you would say what? Breakfast. But you know where that came in from? Mr. Kellogg said the most important meal of the day is breakfast. To sell what? More cereal. Yep. To sell more cereal. And now you believe it. It's been told enough that you believe it. But breakfast means when you break your fast. That's break fast. But now you're addicted to the food. And so what most people do is what? They have their bowl of oatmeal or whatever, and an orange juice. Kids at school get what? A bowl of fruit lattes and some wheat toast and some sugar in the form of a juice. No pulp, no fiber. And so then they do what? Just like you. On the way to work, you drive, well, not you guys, but you drive to work, you buy this donut or that, or went into Casey's or whatever, and you got some carbs, right? You get your energy going on the day, some coffee or energy drink, and then by 10, you crashed. So you go grab something else. Then it was lunchtime, you got whatever that lunch was, and then you 2 hours later, you're tired and you crash, that kind of stuff. That's all because your insulin, your blood sugar is going up and down. And you know who's waiting in the winds? Is these guys.
Mhm.
These guys are waiting for you to get enough of this so now they can start pounding this into you. So you were in a trap. We're in a trap. One of these companies has been around for 125 years and still has yet to make a medicine that cures anything. They have everything to, well, trap you and get you a situation where you get all these different symptoms. And I'm going to jump forward, guys, because I want to hear some stories. But it's like dandelions. It's spring. We got dandelions everywhere out here in Illinois, don't we? Right? That's your yard. But I ask you, if you sent one of your kids out to pick dandelions, they're going to do what? Just like you did when you were a kid. They're going to take the tops off, right?
Mhm.
They pick the dandelions. It ain't there anymore. Or is it? Those are symptoms, and you haven't gotten to the root of the problem. You need to get the root of the problem, right?
Yep.
In order to get rid of the dandelion. And all this is generated because of the combination of what we have inside of our foods mixed with this. So there's a drug, there's a gummy, there's a thing for everything that we have. And so one of the things that we ask, again, is there a need? Do you know anybody that's got body fat, dementia, stroke? Did you know that Alzheimer's and dementia are now being shown to be a result of insulin resistance? Now, if you're on here, you've never heard of insulin resistance, let me explain to you what it is. And I know you guys don't do this, but if you ever would have had a little bit of alcohol, a little sippy, a little nibby, right? Your mind kind of changes. All of a sudden, you become chatty Cathy, and your balance may be off a little bit, and you're ready to party. But the next time you do it, you need more, don't you? Your cells will become resistant to that liquid. So the same thing as happens with our insulin. The cells say, no, I don't need any more. And it starts to get stored elsewhere. So one of the things that happens is we've now found that dementia, Alzheimer's, is diabetes or type 3 diabetes. It can be reversed if we get there fast enough. We need to be there fast enough. Low testosterone, PCOS, fatty liver. Do you know we're finding fatty liver in kids younger than 8? Do you know that kids, because of how they're being fed, will ingest more sugar than I will have ingested in my entire lifetime by the time they're 8? What's that doing to their metabolic health? So we're talking about insulin resistance. So if you know anybody that's always hungry, they're always snacking, even though they're not hungry, think about it. I ask you, I was at a convenience store the other day, and I picked up just one of those bags of curls. You know what I'm talking about? The orange ones?
Mhm.
Kelly, I looked at the serving. How many servings in this bag?
Probably 50.
You
Or more.
think there were 3 servings. Have you ever seen someone take out 2 and fold the bag up so they can eat them later? Exactly, Kurt. What about those big jars of balls? You know, the orange balls? I mean, come on. People down half the bag, and they're not full. They're not full because the people that make those have engineered them so they know exactly how many seconds it takes for it to dissolve on your tongue and bypass your brain that you're full. Think about that. And they're not stupid. The people that are taking the shots, they've already re-engineered food to bypass those shots.
Wow.
Okay? It's profit, guys. So, you know, people that have a hard time losing weight, cravings. Oh, by the way, there's people that are taking the shots. Let's say they lost 30 pounds. 40% of that is muscle, lean muscle and bone. Tell me how they're ever going to get that muscle back. They're not.
Mm-mm.
They're not. And muscle is the metabolic engine that eats our glucose. They've lost 40%, not including all the other issues. So I just want to touch base is what we're going to be talking about is insulin resistance. And guys, I'm gonna talk for like 3 more minutes. I'm going to turn it over to you guys.
Yeah, right, George.
And Kelly, you're going to love this because I just came up with this. I'm going to give people free how to fix themselves for free. Okay, are you ready? Write this down. It's F off. I'm telling you to F off. That stands for fast, fiber, fat, and the order of which you eat. Guys, it's proven if you can fast longer, because you just slept, right? And you wake up, you don't need to put food in your mouth right now. And what we have, guys, am I right or wrong? That tea that we take, that Unamate, that chlorogenic tea, that lets us go the morning without eating, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It does. Yep.
Yeah.
And when you're doing that, you get to, there you go. You get to live off your body fat. You're in ketosis. So that's why we have a tea. Okay. Then with our first meal, whatever that is, when we break our fast, you can have the balance, which is the fiber, or you have that and you have that with your largest meal. Or you can have 2 of them. It doesn't really matter, but you're adding fiber back in.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the afternoon, instead of crashing or whatever, we have our second tea. This is our protocol. This protocol is dumb simple.
Mm-hmm.
If you can drink 2 teas in a day, and it tastes kind of like, what's that, Arnold Palmer, kind of like an Arnold Palmer, and you can drink a fiber matrix. Oh, and by the way, these are patented, so nobody else can make these things. There are over 24 clinical studies, and I'm not going to bore anybody with all that kind of stuff, but I just want you guys to understand the protocol that we're talking about is workable. It's found in the PDR that's been researched at Cleveland Clinic, #1 hired hospital in the world, the University of Sydney. If you look it up in the PDR, this will be the last 3 things I talk about. I double dog dare you, if any of you are on any medications, to look up whatever you're taking. If you're taking a shot, if you're on high blood pressure medication, if you're on statins, if you're on diabetic medications, including metformin, look it up in the PDR, pdr.net. Look it up. And when you go in there, you're going to find a box warning. And that I call the black box warning because it means it will kill you. It has a possibility of killing you. What we have is food. And when you look up what we are taking, what those guys are using, what I'm using, it's food. There's not any contradiction. That's not any negative interactions. It's the University of Cleveland, the Clinic Cleveland said such a product, if taken regularly, could reduce cardiovascular risk on a population basis and potentially decrease the need for dose for lipid lowering and prescription drugs. Who does not want you to know this?
Big pharma.
Who does not want you to know this? Exactly. And who the guys that are prescribing the medications for you, whoever they are, who paid for their education? Who paid for their education? Exactly.
Yep.
Okay. This is a real quick study. This is at the University of Sydney. We fed people 2 Eggo waffles, 2 tablespoons of syrup, and 10 ounces of orange juice. 89 carbs, 420 calories. Okay, I mean this is a sugar bomb. Think of that. And the protocol lowered by 43%. This protocol lowered it by 43%. Metformin, 24 to maybe 30% is all it could do. And it could kill you. Another thing, one more thing, this is our Unamate. It's patented. So we have 5 patents on our products, kids. And this shows that you want to have fats first, then protein, and you don't need the carbs. So I'm going to ask Kelly. Kelly, what have you, because you started this first. You started this before Kurt did. So what have you noticed? What's going on in your world? Tell us about it.
I noticed my room's dirty, but anyways, sorry. I'm actually a real person because sometimes, you watch these things, you're like, oh yeah, these people are full of it. No. So basically, George kept telling me, Kelly, gotta try this. I'm like, yeah, whatever, George, whatever. I'm very skeptical about anything like that because I've gone up and down on my weight my entire life. My only good diet was not eating anything. I starved myself. And I drank a lot of alcohol. I was in a bad relationship, so that, that helped. And the only thing I could control in that bad relationship was my food. So that's kind of like my backstory. So I had AFib about 7 years ago, I think. I had heart ablation surgery. And ever since then, I was actually an adrenaline junkie before that. I just went downhill. So George, I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I'm going to humor George. I'm going to try this stuff, whatever, because it's like, to me, it was like, it's not that easy. He's full of shit. Excuse my language, y'all. But if anyone knows me, I cuss way too much. But anyways, so I'm like, okay, I'll try it. So I started on a Friday, and I'm on my 7th week now. Started on Friday, and by Sunday, what I did notice, I noticed right away that I didn't want to eat as much. And I'm not a big eater. I'm a huge faster, actually. But I'd come home at night and eat everything but the kitchen sink because, I starved all day and I was hungry. So I decided to, try it. And I noticed I wasn't as hungry. I didn't want to eat. I was kind of like, And then by Sunday, I woke up and I'm like, oh my gosh, my stomach feels like flat, even though it's not. It's far from flat, but I felt like it was flat. And then as it went on, I could tell more energy. And I talk really fast sometimes because I'm really excited about this stuff. So when I talk to people, I'm like, but anyways, so I am actually down 19 pounds. I weigh myself once a week. I try not to weigh it anymore, but sometimes I'm like, oh, I feel a little thinner today. Should I weigh myself? And then I'm kind of mad I weighed myself because I'm, maybe a 0.3 less, whatever. I get a little obsessive compulsive if you don't know me very well, but I did notice right away, like my shirts and stuff were getting hanging on me. Like I used to have to power stretch a shirt and I don't anymore. My jeans, or actually I'm wearing jeans that I couldn't even fit one butt cheek in, like weeks ago. So, and they'd be tight pulling them up, but I'm like, this is the easiest thing. And, I have some friends trying it. I'm trying to keep up with and see how they're doing. And, I like I said, I didn't know a lot about it. And the more I learn about it, because I've always been a faster, that's never been an issue with me. You wouldn't believe it by looking at me, but it's just, I feel better. My husband went on it probably 3-4 weeks after I did. 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
And of course he's lost like 12 pounds, but he also, you men, you suck. So he was drinking, I don't even know how many Pepsis a day, to be honest with you. I know it was probably 12 plus. And I worried about him because he'd get these like, oh, I'm getting a blood sugar low, which actually he probably wasn't a low blood sugar. It was probably so far up here. And then it would drop to maybe a normal rate. And then he was shaky. So within the first couple days, he was down to like 1 to 2 Pepsis. And some days he hasn't had any. We were spending a absolute fortune buying Pepsi every week. I mean, it's stupid. And so now, like we had no Pepsi tonight and, it's no big deal, and he was giving away his Pepsis on Sunday to he was drinking a few beers on Sunday, but this guy doesn't drink. So he was giving him all his Pepsis. I'm like, dang, he never shared that stuff before, but no, I mean, it's undescribable, I guess. I know some people are like, well, that's just too easy. It is too easy. And that's what I like about it because I work in Rockford every day. So I drive tons of, to Rockford from Sterling, hour and 20, and drive home. And I always drink a tea all the way up there. And I might sip on it almost the whole morning. I have not had a cup of coffee. I tried 1 cup of coffee after 4 weeks, and I was like, I didn't drink it. I mean, granted, I used to drink at least 1 cup a day. I had to have my 1 cup. I haven't had coffee, and like I said, I tried it that one day, 7 weeks, and I've maybe drank that much coffee. So I've had a couple friends, they asked me, can I drink on this? Like, alcohol. I'm like, well, yeah. I said, but since I've been on this, I don't really want it as much.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be a super sweet person. I'm not. I love salt. That's my downfall. But the weird thing is my sodium, before I had started all this, my sodium actually was running low, which I don't know why. But I mean, the only thing I said I'm craving on this stuff is pickles. And I'm not pregnant. I'm too old.
That was going to be the next question.
Everybody, I tell my friends, I'm like, I'm craving pickles. They're like, what? I say, I think it's the sodium, honestly. Because I used to come home, I could eat a whole bag of chips. Yeah. My downfall was hot Cheetos. Do you know I haven't had even a morsel of them in 7 weeks?
Yeah.
My husband got some. I didn't know I had some in the pantry still. He got them out and they were stale. And he's like, you want some? I'm like, no, I don't. And if I want, like, I have these pub pretzels, like they're all the seasoned pretzels. And I try to stick to pretzels instead of, even though I know they're not.
Right.
But I'll have just a couple and I'm fine. And like so yesterday.
Let me ask Kelly, do we count calories or count carbs? Are we on do we have to eat a certain kind of way or a certain diet?
No, I just feel I want to do this. I'm trying to eat healthier, but yesterday I was starving. I was working from home, which makes it harder sometimes. But I drank my tea, but I'm like, God, I'm really hungry. But I'm like, I know when I'm that hungry, I do need to eat a little something.
Yeah.
So I grabbed like some ham, a couple slices of ham, which, sodium.
Yeah.
And then I just grabbed like probably 6 or 7 pretzels. And that was all I ate. And then I was fine. But I know sometimes sometimes that I'm just like, I got to eat something because I feel I'm really hungry.
Yeah.
But then other days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other days I could give a crap less,
Yeah. One of the things that for both of you guys is that get some Himalayan salt or Redmond salt or Celtic salt. Or
I've got sea salt, but
and just take some of that kind of salt, a couple pinches, and that'll give you some of those trace minerals and things.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly, that's great. I love where we're at. I'll come back to you in a second.
That's fine.
Kurt, what do you got going on, buddy?
Okay. Well, I'll try to keep it short, but it's really changed my life. I used to work out 6 days a week, worked hard, finally got down. It took a year. I got down to 210. My work changed. I'm a superintendent in commercial work. I build hospitals. So I had to get employment with a company. I was traveling out of state. So I live half of the year. I live basically up in Greensburg, Montana. So if there's any good friends of mine up in Greensburg, Montana, I want to give you a shout out. Hope you're doing great. Fantastic people, good people up there, good hardworking people. I was working 96 hours a week to get this surgical center done on time. And so I don't have time to work out. It seemed like it didn't matter what I ate. If I didn't eat food, I gained weight. If I ate food, I gained weight.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was bad. And I mean, I became obese, and I know that. I weighed 250. I'm 6'2", but I was weighing 250. And I mean, I had one of those bellies that popped out and protruded way out, and I couldn't breathe. I had issues from it. I was talking to George is actually my father-in-law. So thanks to Dad, I'm in this and I love it. But I was obese. I had plantar fasciitis, so my right foot killed me all the time. And then in commercial work, construction, we're walking on concrete constantly, killing my feet. I had stress to get the job done. I had anxiety. I had inflammation in my hands. I had migraines, I had joint pains. One of the bad thing was sleep apnea, and it was bad. It was bad. I came back home, moved back home. I'm working for a fantastic company now, building hospitals. Love the company, but I don't have time to work out. And so I came back home. I was at home for a while. I told Stephanie, I said, I'm obese and I'm going to die. I know I'm going to die. I could just feel it. If I didn't change, I was going to die. And I'm being brutally honest. I could feel it. I was dying. I couldn't breathe. I'd bend over to put my boots on. I couldn't breathe. The pain. And I said, I've got to do something. I don't know what, but I have to do something. Well, next thing I know, I guess Stephanie and George spoke. And then Stephanie goes, well, look at Dad after, what was it, 2 months, 3 months? Oh my God, I didn't even recognize my own dad. I mean, he was so thin and lost so much weight. So I'm like, I called Dad and I said, what are you doing? What are you on? He goes, this is what I'm doing. This is how I look now. And I'm like, this is like, it was like magic. I mean, the weight you lost and the way you look and the healthier you look and the younger you look. And I'm like, so what did I do? You gave me the website. Bam, I ordered. I think I ordered that day, didn't I?
Yep.
And I ordered it. And I'm like, what do I need to do? And you told me, you just drink your Unamate. It comes in a little bitty pack. It comes in with a bottle that has a marking on there where you fill it with water. You can put a little bit more water in there if you want. Put your pack in there, shake it up. You drink it from when you get up until lunch. If lunch is your biggest day, you drink a balanced thing. It has a line, fill up the water here for the balance at the top. I mean, anybody can do this. It's so simple. I mean, and I'm like, really, that's what you did to do it? And I'm like, I'm in. I bought it. I drank it for like 6 or 7 days. All of a sudden it was Easter. And I'm like, oh my God, everybody's going to be dressed up at the family get together. What am I going to wear? Everybody's going to be dressed up and I'm wearing workout pants. I'm going to be wearing fat. So I'm like, I do feel a little bit smaller. So let me go try on my nice pants. I tried them on. They fit. I kid you not. They fit. I lost inches and they fit. And I'm sorry. I'm just going to say this. I had a fat boy crying moment that, oh my God, I lost some weight and they fit. And I felt good. I walked in and my family said, what are you doing? We can tell you already lost some inches. And I felt so good. I mean, I had an emotional, sensitive fat boy moment right then and there. I mean, you could ask my wife. I was crying like a baby going, oh my God, I might live yet. So anyway, I did that. And then also she told me, she goes, you have issues sleeping. She goes, did you know you stop breathing like 2 or 3 minutes while you sleep at nighttime? And I'm like, no, I didn't realize it. She goes, one of these days you might not start breathing again. So she was on me. She set an appointment up for me to go do a sleep study. So I wore this get up for 2 nights. I turned it back in. The box recorded things. I turned it in. They gave me the results back. And all it said was, you have no sleeping disorder. You're just obese. Big words, obese. And I'm like, yeah, I know that. I'm fat. I get it. I know that. And so I went back to my doctor and I said, okay, I'm obese. I get it. I knew that. And I said, so how do I lose weight? You know what my doctor says? Well, eat, 5,000 calories a day and you should lose weight. And here I'm looking at a physician that he's obese himself. And he's how to lose weight. I'm like, oh my God. And I got stuck. A bill stuck for almost $1,000 for that. And I'm like, really? I knew this stuff. And then with what Dad prescribed for me, now I can sleep.
Yes.
Night I sleep. I get a restful, peaceful night of sleep. And then at work, even I went to work and everybody goes, "Man, you're more calm. You're not so, anxiety or stress. You're calm." And I could go on and on and on about what this has done for me.
No, I'm asking you how simple it is. This is something that I'll let you tell everybody. So how simple it is you had started the protocol about a week, and where did you go and what did you do?
As far as the results on this,
no, you started the protocol, and
Right.
then right, and then what did you do? Like about 5 days later, you and the family went and did what?
When we went on vacation. Yeah, that was a sweet thing. The company that I work for now, they're very kind. I work day and night on this surgical center. The hospital, the client we work for, they had to have the surgical center done 3 months. They had to cut off the back end of the project, which is unheard of. So I worked night and day on this project, put in a lot of hours. I canceled our Florida trip for vacation. I told Stephanie, I said, "I'm sorry, I can't leave. I'm in charge. I have to get this project done." So I said, "I have responsibility and I need to make this happen for our company and also for our client." So we canceled that vacation. So once we finished the project and we were able to cut 3 months and actually a week off the end. It was also my 1-year anniversary. So I had my yearly review and my boss came out and he goes, "You did a fantastic job." He goes, "If it wasn't for you, this job wouldn't have got finished on time." So he goes, "This is what we're going to do." So basically, they gave me they paid for a trip to Maui for me. They said, "Wherever you want to go," they gave me 2 weeks extra paid vacation, even though I had vacation banked up. They gave me money on top of that. So we went to Maui. And so I was good though. I stayed on my drink while I was out of Maui. I was good. But also, this is probably what George was talking about. We were laughing about this. But before that, being obese, I had a touchy issue with ED. When we went to Maui on vacation, after drinking this stuff, after 7 days, when I wake up in the morning, I was like an 18-year-old kid again, man. I was ready to rock and roll.
Oh, shit.
And my wife is like, "Man, you're wearing me out." Sorry, George. Sorry, Dad. But she was like, "Man, you're wearing me out." She goes, what got into you? And I'm not kidding you. I had issues that drinking this stuff, I owe my life to my father and also this drink. It does so much good. I mean, and I'm not exaggerating. I mean, I was obese and I thought I was going to die. My manhood was falling apart. I'm like, man, I'm just falling to pieces. And, I've got that all back. I've been on this for the 12th of this month. I have drinking this. It'll be 1 month.
And how much weight are you down? Have you lost any weight? How many?
17 pounds.
I hate guys. You guys all suck.
Well, they do say men lose weight quicker, but I've seen the ladies on this stuff, and it's amazing how they lose weight. They look younger. They look beautiful. I mean, they're just
better.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that is one thing I can say is my skin, because I don't like this whole aging BS at all. I'm having a rough time with that. But my skin used to be really dry, which I know it's getting more summer, so it's not as dry as it is in the winter. But I looked in the mirror, I'm like, my skin actually looks clear. I mean, I use good product as well, but I did notice that. And I had to say this too. I just realized yesterday or Sunday that I haven't had one Advil or ibuprofen or whatever. I haven't had one in 7 weeks because I would wake up with headaches. I have fibromyalgia, but I've got extremely high pain tolerance, so I ignore a lot of symptoms that have actually got me in the hospital because I ignored stuff too much. But I just realized, I'm like, you know what? I haven't had one Advil.
Wow.
None.
That's
Which I mean, I would like at night because I couldn't sleep very well because I was just achy or whatever, But I'm like, God, I haven't taken Advil in a long time, So and even sleeping through the night. That's one thing I will say. It took about 3, almost 4 weeks, but all of a sudden I'm waking up at my alarm. I'm like, what the hell is this about?
Mm-hmm.
But now my husband had to go get a puppy, so now that's kind of gone out the window a little bit right now. But so I make him get up. But anyways, he wakes me up when he gets up. But I will say I'm sleeping better.
You guys, we've had a good night. Talked about some really kinds of things. If you're going to talk to someone and just that just has watched this and that, I just want to make sure, guys, that if you know Kurt, if you know Kelly, get with them because they have links to help you be able to get started on this, and you'll get the same discounted membership price as they have. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so we'll be back again probably tomorrow night. We're going to be looking to help. We want to help teach and educate you guys, gift you with the information so that you can start feeling better. We want to give you hope because there is hope. There is hope. It's living proof. And I'll just tell you this is that I am alive because of this protocol. Mm-hmm. Literally alive because of this protocol. Because in October, if you understand diabetic numbers, in October 24th, my blood sugar, fasted blood sugar, was 834, and my A1C was 18.1. That is critical, red, cold blue. I should have been dead. Literally should have been dead. Minimum in a coma or hospitalized. And after 107, I took no medications, no drugs, nothing. After 107 days of this protocol, my fasting blood sugar was 90. My A1C was down to 7.2 because of this protocol. Now, 7.2 is still a diabetic number, but understand A1C is a 90-day average. And I lowered it exponentially. Mm-hmm. So in July, when I have it, I won't even be considered diabetic. So this is, and it's not just for weight loss. These two great individuals are losing weight. That's incredible. It's great. But I'm not allowed to lose weight because I suffer from what's called sarcopenia. I was down to 143 pounds. I'm up to this morning 152. She's not all that, but I'm gaining muscle. I'm on the chart to be probably by July. I should be up into 30% lean muscle with an 18% body fat. Ooh. So I'm going this way. I'm doing it a little bit different. And so we want to share this kind of stuff with you guys. I wish you well. I hope you all have a good night. Anything you want to say in closing, Kelly? Anything you want to say to the world?
No, I mean, man, it works. Hey, if it works for his ED, it works for everything, all right?
That worked very well.
You got anything to say?
Oh, but it is. It's amazing. It's all natural, and it works. And like you said, it's stupid simple. It's a drink 3 times a day. How easy is that?
Perfect. Guys, I love you. Have a good night. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right.
Thanks. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Perfect.
That was a good one because they kept it comical too.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were just being themselves.
Yep.
I didn't realize Kurt was that big because I haven't seen him for a while though.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Oh, Did George drop out? Or where did
I
he
don't
go?
know. Hopefully we're not still live. I just wanted to say when the doctor said eat 5,000 calories a day from one fat ass to another. Really, dude?
I know. I'm looking at him and he's like way over. He was heavier than I was. And I'm like, really? You're trying to tell me how to lose weight when you're that obese? I'm like, I knew I was obese, but he couldn't even tell me how to lose weight. So I might as well just wadded up $1,000 and just thrown it out the window when I drove down the interstate.
Right. I don't know if we're still live, people, but anyways.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice meeting you, Kurt.
Hey, we're all real, aren't we, Kelly?
Well, I try to keep it real, man.
Yeah, good. Thank you. It's been fun.
All right. Take care.
Okay, you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Congratulations.